video?
Yes. Can you just ask your question once we get to the section that it makes sense for, or at the end? Thank you so much. Okay, so again, my name is Professor Clark, and I'm your professor for FNMT 17. And so this course is the second one in a series of 3 courses at CCP that are consisted of foundational math courses. So you might have taken FNM 16, which was the previous course, or you might have just came straight into 17. After you finish this course, you'll go directly into 118. 118 is kind of our gateway course here at CCP. While it's not a course that you can use to transfer to your other 4-year institutions, it is the gateway course at CCP. So if your major doesn't require you to go beyond 118, that would be your stopping for math. If you have a major like business or nursing or other things that require you to go beyond 118, then you do have to take those additional math courses, but they will no longer be in the foundational department. They will be in the mathematics department. And those courses will all transfer to your 4-year institutions. Does anyone have any questions about this course, the background of this course? It's a non-credited course, which means it's pass or fail. So regardless if you get a 70% or 100%, you're gonna see a pass on your transcript, not an actual letter grade. Yes,
Yeah.
you have a question?
Yes. And
How do
then
we pronounce your name?
Sue.
Sue, okay.
Sue, yeah. And my advisor say after this course I can take 1, 2, 3.
Okay,
I don't need to 1A.
Yes, that's an alternative course. Only certain people can take that course. So that is correct. If your advisor said that you're eligible to take that course, then you can. Okay, any other questions? Background information? No? Okay. So the beginning of this course is pretty much a repeat of material that was taught in the previous course, which was FNMT 16. So the first week, if you just came straight from 16, you should notice that the first week, it's a lot of material that's repeated. So the first week is kind of like a time to get caught up. If this is your first time taking 17 and you didn't take that previous course, then you might look at this information and think that you have to do a little bit more. It might be a little bit more difficult. So everybody's coming in with different levels of experience and expertise to this course. So I'm gonna open up the Canvas on my page, and then I will screen share so that you guys can see it.
Oh. Hello, Professor.
Are you guys able to see the screen right here?
Yes, I have a question about the discussion.
Yes, can you give me a chance to get to that, and then you can ask your question about the discussions?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are you guys able to see the screen in front of me that looks like Canvas?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so when you first log into Canvas, you should, your main screen should be your home page. When you hit home, okay, I'll go to student view so it can look more like what you guys see. Okay, so this is kind of what it should look like when you guys log into your Canvas page. You should see this message here, and notice this has a little open circle, and I'm sure you've already noticed this. Once you click on the assignment and you read, this is basically a background of how to navigate the modules, and you click next. If you were to go back to the home page, you'll notice that you see a green check mark next to the page, okay? That means that you've finished that page, or at least you've viewed that page, and now you're ready to proceed to the next module. So because we already looked at this page, I can now go to the syllabus, right? So if you notice, you kind of can't really get lost, because as long as you're going in order, you should be able to open the next page. So this talks here about the syllabus. So you can click here for your syllabus. And it's a great opportunity for you guys to read the syllabus, because it contains a lot of important information. So I would say make sure to read that. Also on that page, you'll see a course calendar. Some students like to have a calendar. So what you can do is you can open the calendar, and the calendar has the video or the sections that are going to be covered that week. So you can see all the sections that you're going to be covering each week. It also has the dates for your midterm and the dates for your final exam. The midterm is on June 10th. It's a Thursday. And the 3 time slots are 9 a.m. to 10:30, 1 p.m. to 2:30, 6 p.m. to 7:30. So this will be like on Zoom how we are now, except for you'll be doing it individually, but you'll be on Zoom. Everybody will be on mute. So these are the 3 time slots. So if you have a job or you have children or other responsibilities, I would highly suggest that you take these times down and make sure you work around your schedule for that day. That's Thursday, June 10th. That's your midterm. The final exam is going to be June 30th. It's a Wednesday. So, and the time slots, I think they're in the syllabus, but if not, they're sort of the same as this, except for they're 2.5 hours long instead of 1.5 hours long. So you get 2.5 hours for your final exam. So this might be something you want to print out if you have a printer, or maybe you want to just keep this on your desktop so that you can refer back to it. But this is the schedule of events. As you can see, the class moves pretty quickly. It's only 7 weeks, and really the last week is your final exam. So it's more like 6 weeks of material, and the last week is your final exam. So it is a lot more fast-paced than a traditional 15-week course. Okay, so once you move through all of these things and you've read them, okay, the next thing that will pop up is talking about MyLab and mastering. This is where your textbook is coming from, okay? And you have 2 options on buying your textbook. You could rent it from the college, or you can rent it directly from Pearson itself. If you are getting bookstore credit, you want to rent it from the college. If you are paying out of pocket, you want to buy it from Pearson because it saves you, I think, like $20 maybe, or $10. It's a savings of something. So, and it's always better to save money if you can. So I suggest that if you are paying out of pocket, you just buy it directly from Pearson. Does anyone have any questions so far about what we've covered so far?
Pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a question about this week's homework. I need the record and note taking
Okay. What's your question about the homework?
about textbook, and then after I read the video, I need to submit my note.
Oh, no, you don't have to submit your notes after you watch the videos. You can keep your notes and your notebook because the quizzes are open notes. So you can use your notes on all of your quizzes, but you don't have to submit your notes to me. What you have to submit to me is your notes from when you take your quiz, like your work that you're writing down. That's all you have to submit.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Professor, I had a question about the Pearson. I saw within a module somewhere that there was like a 2-week access code, and I saw on your screen at the video, I think you posted to YouTube, how to get to that at the bottom of the screen. But when I go to it, it doesn't show up.
Okay.
I have had an account with them, so I don't know if I possibly used one in the past. Is there only like a one-time thing, or is there a way to get it for other courses?
Did you have 17 and use the temporary access code?
I don't believe, no, I didn't.
Okay.
But I believe I used it for a different course. So I don't know if that matters or.
Yeah, and you should be able to have another one per course, but if you could just send me an email with your name, and then I can try to get it over to the correct Pearson. But it should be there. As soon as you open MyLab and Mastering, it should be like at the bottom, like right where I was in the video.
Yeah, your video showed me, so I thought it would be pretty easy to find, but there isn't anything at the bottom of mine.
Yeah, so maybe there is something because you already used it, but
Yeah.
I will try to see if I can get you another code that you can use temporarily.
Thank you so much. I'll email you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other questions so far about what we covered?
Yes, hi, Professor.
Yes.
The textbooks, are they required? Like, do you have to get the textbooks?
Yes, so the textbook is required because every week you have a homework assignment that's from the textbook.
Okay.
And so that in order to be able to complete the class, you have to have the textbook.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Yes.
I'm assuming it's, unfortunately, I had to withdraw from this class before, and I had to get a new license.
Okay.
But I had the old book. That should still be fine, right? FNM 017 book, right?
Yeah. So the book is always the same. It hasn't
Okay.
changed, but you
All
just
right.
got to make sure that you still have time left on your Pearson account so that you don't have to repurchase another one.
No, they made me repurchase another
Oh, they
one.
made you repurchase.
Yeah,
it.
because it was like over a year ago when I did it,
Oh, okay.
before the COVID. Yeah. All
Any
right.
other questions about? I'll go through what the textbook looks like, but any other questions about the MyLab Math? So anytime you're accessing MyLab Math, you want to go directly from Canvas. So you see right here on the navigation side, you want to always click right here. You don't want to actually Google MyLab Math because there are different ones, and you want to make sure you're getting to the CCP version. So you always want to log into your Canvas account and click MyLab and Mastering here on the side. And then you can just click the yellow button that should be at the top that says Open MyLab and Mastering. And if you're already signed in, it probably will bring you straight to the site. You probably won't have to sign in, but I have a couple of different accounts. Okay, so when you log into your MyLab and Mastering, you'll notice that it looks something like this when you log in, like a little calendar on top. And then you might see the dots here. This dot indicates the day that your homework assignment is due. So normally homework is due on Fridays because summer courses are actually Monday through Thursday. That's why if you notice, most of the material is Monday through Thursday because there are no classes on Fridays. So in the summer, CCP doesn't, they do a Monday through Thursday, 4-day week schedule. So that's why the homework assignment is due on Friday. But for this week, I made it due on Sunday because I realized that a lot of students are having difficulties with managing their courses. So I just want to make sure you have a little bit of extra time. But next week, the homework assignment will be due on Friday. Okay, so you'll see the dot here instead of the dot being on a Sunday. So you can see, you can click directly from the home page to get to your homework. And your homework will pop up. And you see that you have unlimited attempts per question. That means you can redo this as many times as you want throughout the week, and I take the highest score. So if you're not satisfied with your score on your homework assignment, you can redo it again. Or if you have a question you got wrong, you can just redo that question again, and they're going to give you a different example. So feel free to do that. If you feel like you want to increase your grade, feel free to redo the questions. And the more time you do the questions, you'll have more practice. So it actually is great for you to do. So all you have to do is click on the first question. You can go out of order, but most people like to go in order. And then you would read what the question is asking you. You will click the box and then select your answer. Okay. And if you needed help, you would go, can you see the pop-up box? Sometimes you can't see the pop-up box on the sharing the screen. Let me see. Okay, now you should be able to see it. You see this pop-up box that says homework number 1 due Sunday, May 23rd?
Yes.
Okay, yes. So you would click where it says question help, and you have help me solve this, view an example, the textbook, or ask my instructor. Sometimes, depending on the question, they might also have a video that corresponds with it as well. And so these are there to help you in case you don't understand the question. If you click ask my instructor, that question is going to come to me, and I try to answer those questions as long as it's between that Monday through Thursday time period within 24 hours. But certainly if you ask me a question over the weekend, it might not get answered until Monday. So just keep that in mind. But I try to answer them as quickly as I can. But your best course of action is to try the 3 immediate help features. And then if you still can't figure it out, just send it to me. And at the bottom, you should see a toolbar. You can use these depending on the type of question it is. to help you with your answer. Like if it's a fraction, you want to click that button. If it's an inequality, you can use that button. The dot means multiplication, right? So, and then if you click more, you'll see that there's a lot more features to the toolbox. So whatever you need, you can feel free to utilize the toolbox to help you. And let's say you didn't understand this question and you want to go to the next question, you can just click at the top and click next. And then click next. When you're finished or you're done for the day, just click at the very top here in the top corner, save. And then it will save your work. You do not have to actually complete all 50 questions in one day. You can do 5 one day, 10 the next day, 5 the next day. You do not have to complete it in one sitting. Okay, and I actually advise that you don't complete it in one sitting because it would be overwhelming. So if you can split it up amongst a couple of days, then I suggest doing that. Any questions about that part of the MyLab math?
I'm a little confused.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, I have to apologize to you because I thought I was in my biology class. I had the same exact setup, but I still have the same. Still have the same issues.
Okay.
Instead of exact, so that's why I'm more overwhelmed because I have 2 classes doing the same thing. I'll read my biology book, not my FNMT book. But what I'm getting confused about is the FNMT book a copy of the MyLabs, right? Is it this? Are these questions also in the book, or is this separate?
So the textbook is attached to the online program, but they're not the same questions from your textbook. They might be similar questions scattered throughout the textbook, but it's not like chapter 1, page 141. These are all the 50 questions. I create these questions based off of the content that I'm teaching that week.
So are we gonna be using the physical textbook then? Like I have a physical textbook.
No, so you don't actually need the physical textbook unless you wanted to use it for like additional help or you wanted to use it for reinforcement, but you don't actually need the actual textbook because the textbook is online here. And I'm about to show you how you can access it.
All right, great, thank you. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So the textbook comes with an access code that's in the back of the book.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
I
that's
just got through bookstore, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if you go to your assignments, you will see here that there are assignments that say available for extra help, available for extra help. These are not graded, meaning I put these here to help students who need extra reinforcement. So this is the PowerPoint for that chapter, and this is the PowerPoint for chapter 1. These are extra help. You don't have to do them, but if you feel like you need additional help, please feel free to watch the PowerPoint and the videos. But again, you don't have to do those, okay? It's just available for extra help. Here where it says homework number 1, that would be what you're responsible for completing. And every week you'll have 1 homework assignment. Again, the homework assignments go up Monday at 12 a.m. and they go down Friday at 11:59 p.m. So you have 5 days to complete the homework. They're never more than 50 questions. That's always the cutoff. Some weeks there are more, some weeks there are less, depending on the topic. But if you split it up like 10 questions a day, then that would be 50 questions by Friday. Here on the side, you see where it says e-text. That is your textbook in case you want to use your textbook. Again, you don't have to use it, but you can. And it says e-text on the side. And then it'll pop up, view the e-text for your course. And you would click that button. And it might take you some time. I'm on another system, so that's probably why it's not opening for me. But it should open for you to view the textbook, and it should open up, and then you should be able to see the textbook popping up. Might work for me now. So the textbook is popping up, and this is the beginning of the book. You can search by chapters if you go over to where it says menu. And right now we are in chapter 1. So you would click chapter 1. And chapter 1 would pop up. And if you wanted to, you could go through the entire chapter You don't have to, but you can. But at the back is what I was talking about regarding the summary and review. So there's a summary and review for every chapter. And if you have the physical textbook, it's the same thing. So they have the vocabulary here at the top, some practice problems, right? And then you can just keep scrolling over and you can see that there's more practice problems.
All right.
At the end of that summary review, there's also a chapter test. And the answer to the chapter test are in the back of the book. So if you wanted to give yourself like a checkup to see how well you're doing before you take a test or a quiz, you can do that. So after you finish with the summary review, there's always a green page that says chapter test. That's it right here. And so this is a chapter test that includes information from all of the chapters. So chapter 1. So let's say next week, because you have a quiz on chapter 1, you wanted to just see how well you're doing. You could complete this page on your own and then go to the answer key in the back of the book, or if you're using the e-text, you see where it says answers here, and you can check your work to see if you are on the right track. Again, all optional, you don't have to do it, but it is available to you if you choose to do so. Okay, any questions about this part of the e-text or the textbook? No? Also on here, you can go where it says chapter contents and you can search for the chapter directly. So you don't have to necessarily click e-text. You can also just go to chapter contents. Right now we're in chapter 1 and you can actually select the section that you want to review. So if you needed help with 1.8, you could just click section 1.8 and then you can click e-text and that will take you directly to 1.8 in the textbook. Also, what you have here is a study plan. You don't have to do this, but some students told me last semester that they like this. What happens with the study plan is questions that you're getting wrong when you're doing your homework will populate in your study plan. So it's customized to you as an individual. And then you can practice those questions and do quiz me. And none of this is graded. So even if you only do half of it, it's not going to affect your grade at all. And this is just individualized. So everybody's study plan will look completely different. And this is based on how well you're doing on your assignments on MyLab Math. If the computer notices that you're getting fractions wrong, for example, you'll see more fraction problems here that you can use to practice. And again, this is on the side where it says study plan. And everybody's study plan will be different because it's individualized. Again, not graded, you don't have to do it, but some students admitted that they liked it because it helped them with the things that they were getting wrong.
It does that automatically, right?
Automatically, yep.
Great. Helpful.
So you probably won't notice anything now because unless you've already started, working in the material, but you will probably next week. And they'll start you with recommended objectives, but then you'll start noticing more topics will be added to your study plan. Here they have a multimedia library. I tried to gather all of the material for you. That's what you see when I put available for extra help. But if you want to search for anything, you can always look for the chapter. For example, we're in chapter 1 and you could say, okay, I need help with order of operations, which is 1.8. And then you would select all, hit find now, and all of this is available to you for help. Animations, the textbook, review videos, the PowerPoints, the chapter test that you can take on that green chapter I was telling you about. Here they go over the video, like the questions to those. And then here's more videos. So these are not the Edpuzzle videos. Somebody asked a question about the 9 to 12 hours. The 9 to 12 hours is how much it should take you for the entire week, not just for Edpuzzle. That's for everything, your homework, watching videos, and your discussion posts. In Edpuzzle, it probably will take you, I would say, less than 5 hours because each video is like 10 minutes or less. So it shouldn't be taking you that long. But if it is, it might just be because you need, more help and reinforcement, which is okay. But on a general basis, the video should be able to be done between 4 and 5 hours. So this is MyLab Math. Don't pay attention to your grade on MyLab Math, because what happens is the grade on here gets transferred to Canvas and it combines with all your other grades. So don't worry about the grade that it says on MyLab Math, because if you're doing any of the extra assignments, it's gonna add those to your grade, but that's not actually going to Canvas. The only grade that goes to Canvas is your homework grade. So don't pay any attention to the grade book on MyLab Math. Just focus on the grade book on Canvas. So any questions about MyLab Math? Yes.
The question I have is, I wanted to ask about what you said last, the quiz and exam and MyLab. Are they going to come from the Canvas or the quiz exam, or if you come from MyLab?
So the quizzes and the exams are on Canvas.
Okay.
Yeah, so on Canvas, yes. They do not come from MyLab Math. They come from Canvas.
Thank you.
Yep. So we'll go back to home on Canvas and we'll continue going through the course. Okay, so again, the first week, everything is broken down into modules. So you can see module 1 is from May 17th to May 21st. If at any point in time you have a question, this general discussion forum, ask questions here, you should use. And this way it will help you interact with other students in the class, as well as me, because I check it. So if you had like a technical issue or something that's not urgent, if it's an emergency, obviously you want to email me personally. But if it's something that you may notice that can help another student, you want to put it here. If maybe you found a particular video successful, or you found another outside resource that you really enjoyed, like some people like to do Khan Academy, then you can put that here and that will help other students for the week. You don't have to do it. It's just there if you have questions. The module 1 learning objectives, that will always be at the first. It's just what you're going to be learning that week. All of these assignments that you see here, you would not normally have these assignments because this is just the first week getting you introduced into Canvas. The following weeks, you'll see a discussion, your videos, and a homework or a quiz if there's a quiz that week. That's it. It won't be any of these additional things that you had to do this week. What's really important is your discussion. Every single week you will have a discussion, and this is so you can interact with your classmates. Even though it's virtual, it's nice to still be able to have a classroom feel. So some weeks you might have to respond to other students, some weeks you just have to post. But these should not be taking you very long. At tops, probably 20 minutes. I would 20 to 30 minutes at the very most that you would probably spend on a discussion, and probably not that amount of time. Okay, but every week you'll see some type of discussion. That will be the first thing you see. This week I have here your lockdown browser, because you guys have to download that in order for you to be able to take your quizzes and your tests. CCP requires that students take their tests via lockdown browser. If it's like a math course or a course where you can't use calculators because they're monitoring everything. So you do have to download that lockdown browser, and there is a download for Mac users and a download for Windows users. So depending on what type of computer you're using, you want to download the correct one. This Canvas fake quiz is not graded. It's just for, well, you get 1 point for doing it, but it's just to see if you're, after you downloaded your lockdown browser, that it works. That's all. You want to test it out because the first official quiz is next week, and you don't want to wait until next week and then realize, oops, my computer doesn't work with the respondents. If you need to borrow a computer from the school, I can put a request in for you so you can have a computer. They purchased the computers last fall, so they're fairly new. And they think they repurchased some computers in the spring. So they're new computers. So if you feel like your computer's a little older and you want an insurance policy in case something happens to your computer, I would still say, hey, rent the laptop. It's part of your tuition. You don't have to pay for it. It's free. So if you want that, you want to rent one of the laptops from the college, then you just have to send me an email and then I can put that through for you. You will have to go pick it up from the campus, but they will bring the computer to you, so you don't have to physically go into the building. Okay, and then you'll see your videos, okay? So there were some intro videos that you wouldn't normally have. Obviously, this is just helping you get acclimated to the course. You would start with your actual videos next week that just correspond to the section that you were learning. And that would be like starting with video number 1. And so these are the Ed Puzzle videos. These videos I've curated, and some of the videos are from faculty here at CCP, and some of the videos are from different other professors that we like and that students seem to find amusing. So we kind of put together different styles. So some you'll see are more upbeat and some may be more to the point because all students have different learning styles. So try to keep an open mind when you're watching the videos. If there's a particular video that you're like, I could benefit from watching it again, watch it again, because you can watch these an unlimited amount of times. Okay, you can watch it as many times as you need until you feel like you understand the content. If you notice, most of the videos are short. They're not usually longer than 10 minutes. And I did that on purpose because nobody wants to watch a 30-minute video. It's hard to keep focused. So once you start watching some of the videos, you will notice that the videos are not that long. And I like to chunk the material so that each video is only covering maybe 1 or 2 things, not a bunch of things. And you have access to the videos the entire semester. So even if you're in module 2 and you're like, hey, I forgot how to add and subtract a fraction, you can still go back to module 1 and watch that video. They don't close. They're open all semester.
Are they open during the exams?
They are open during the exams, but you won't be able to like actually watch it during the exam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me, before I jump ahead, I want to know what we can have for exams. What was?
Oh yeah, so you can have notes for the exam. Any handwritten notes that you got from watching the videos, you can have that on your desk. But you can't like Google an answer or like use a calculator or go watch a video. But you can use your notes from the video.
Okay, that works.
Sorry,
yeah, I'm sorry. I don't do much writing. I do more text. I do writing because of my disabilities, but
yeah,
it's math, so I would assume I would have to do it by hand.
Right. Yes, you can. If you want to type your notes, that's fine. I don't mind you having type notes, but yeah, that doesn't bother me.
I'm sorry, Professor. It's Shatise. I was wondering, you said that you could use your notes on exams. Do you mean quizzes or actual exams too?
No, quizzes.
Okay.
So any type of quiz, you can use your notes.
Exams, we can have no notes at all.
No, yeah, it's a policy of the department that you can't have any notes on the actual exam because they're testing for like to make sure that you actually understand the material without the notes. So you can't. So as much as possible, I always suggest students try to take the quizzes without notes because then that will mimic what it's like to take the midterm and the final, but you do have them available to you if you want to use them. And then at the bottom of the module, you'll see your homework assignment. Homework number 1, you can click on that and this takes you directly to your homework, or like we were showing you before, you can go to My Lab Math and open your homework. Either way, it doesn't matter. This is probably easier, but it doesn't matter. And again, you have unlimited attempts per question and you can take it as many times as you want throughout the course of the week to get the score that you are looking for. Someone said about being timed. Oh, so your quizzes are 60 minutes unless you're registered with the Center on Disability, and then you'll get your extra time. And if you are registered with the Center on Disability, then you just want to make sure I get that paperwork so I can give you your accommodations. Right. But they are timed. Each quiz is 60 minutes. The midterm is 90 minutes, and the final exam is 2.5 hours. So keep that in mind. If you have accommodations, I will definitely add the extra time for you. Just let me see the paperwork from the Center on Disability.
You'll get one this week.
Yeah, and then you'll get your extra time. So for every quiz, every exam, and every test or any type of assessment, you always have to turn in your handwritten notes. And I know you've probably seen the module that talked about how to write your handwritten notes. It's math, so regardless, you're gonna have to be writing the questions out by hand because you don't have a calculator. So there's no way that you're just gonna know the answer to something unless it's a question that's like a vocabulary or maybe something that's simple. But if it's something that like is asking you to multiply or solve an equation or divide, in order for you to get full credit for that question, you actually have to show your steps to how you got your answer. That you can use, as a way of guiding yourself if you do get a question wrong, because then I can look at your work and say, so-and-so, you made your mistake here. I saw where your mistake happened, and then I can help you. But if you have no work and then I can't say how you got your answer, one, I can't give you the points, and two, I can't help you. So it's best to write your work out clean and clear. So that way, when I give you your feedback from your quiz, I can say, you messed up here, you just forgot your negative sign or something like that. So it's important to make sure you show adequate work when you're doing your quizzes and your exams. You don't have to show your work for any of your videos or any of your homeworks. You don't have to show your work for your homework, just for your exam and your quizzes.
I noticed there's a time requirement. It's only 10 minutes, right, after the test?
Yes, if you have issues with the 10 minutes, then just let me know and I can work with you. The issue that we ran into in previous semesters being online, where students were going back and trying to like change their work on their papers. So that's why they put like a time limit so that it wasn't like unlimited time, and you could have time to go back and change your work.
Right.
So, but if you're having an actual like computer issue or like an issue where you're not able to get it done in 10 minutes, just let me know.
Yeah, because it puts me in panic mode. I tried doing it yesterday.
I don't want anyone in panic mode.
Yeah, and like the Genius app, it won't even. I waited like 15 minutes. It wouldn't even export into my mail, so I had to use another app to do it.
Yeah,
because it takes so long to export it into your mail again. So
right. I'm not worried about the time as long as you let me know what's going on.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Actually, I also had a question about that. Just because I don't know, I'm not that neat when I'm writing like during an exam or even like in general. So, and I know that you wanted them written in like a certain way. So the 10 minutes, like if it's not that legible, like I may need more time to clean it up or.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, just let me know.
Yeah, just because I don't want to like turn it in and it just looks like chicken scratch. But if I'm in the middle of doing it, I'm not very neat when I'm like trying to work out a problem initially.
Yeah. But even you're neat, probably I can understand your work because I've been doing this for a long time and seen thousands of students work. And I'm usually able to decipher like what's going on, even though like it doesn't have to, like I have terrible handwriting. So I'm not looking for like, the best penmanship. As long as I can see where your thought process is, that's all I'm looking for.
Okay, because like Joseph, that kind of puts me in panic mode. It's just like a whole mental thing now.
Yeah. So I don't want anybody in panic mode or anxious. So if there's you'll realize that you can usually get because when you have a quiz and it's only 10 questions, it's usually only one page. So when you're scanning it, it's usually one page. So it doesn't usually take that long. But but if for like the exams, you get more time for like your midterm and your final because there's more questions. But for a quiz, it's just like it's usually only 10 questions or less. So you should only use most students only use one page, maybe two.
Oh, okay, so that's a load off.
That long.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. And not every question is a question that requires a lot of work too. So, but if you find yourself feeling anxious or you are not able to get it done in 10 minutes, it's okay. Just let me know via email prior to.
Okay. Thanks again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Again, we're working together here. We're in a pandemic, right? Even though they're releasing all these different mandates, we're still in a pandemic. So I 100% understand. I know people are going out there. My husband's a first responder. I totally get it, right? Yeah. So just, I just want everyone to do the best that we can working together. At the end of the day, it still is a course. So you have to, do all of the requirements of a course. But if, you need an extension, there are opportunities to have an extension as long as you let me know 48 hours prior to the assignment, and everybody gets one extension for the course of the semester. Just keep up with your grades and making sure I release the grades usually over the weekend. Just make sure that you're keeping above that 70%. If you find yourself getting below that 70%, come talk to me immediately. Don't wait until the end of the semester, because I'm not going to throw anyone a Hail Mary extra credit assignment. So please make sure if you notice that you're dropping below a 70%, that you come and talk to me and we can try to strategize and figure out a way to help you increase your grade. But I don't typically give extra credit. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but it's not like at the end of the semester. If it's extra credit being given, it's probably throughout the semester, not at the very end. So just try to make sure you keep up with your grades. Again, those grades usually are released sometime over the weekend. And all you have to do on the side is click your grade book on the grades, and you should be able to see your updated grades. You do want to wait until the assignment is unmuted. So you'll notice some assignments are muted after you finish them, because I go in and manually grade some assignments, like quizzes and things. Some things are automatically graded, but then I have to go back in and check to make sure you didn't write something differently, and then the computer didn't recognize it, and then I have to change your grade to a correct answer. So that's why it might take, you know, a few more days if you have a quiz, because I actually go in and manually grade those. Certain video assignments I have to go in and manually grade. Certain type of questions don't populate a correct answer always. So just wait until those assignments are actually present in your grade book, and then if there's a problem, let me know. So that's pretty much it on my end as far as the course flow. If you have questions, I'd be willing to take those now for anyone that had any questions.
Well, this is weekly, right?
What? Yes. So
The
weekly,
Zoom?
I'll do. Yep. And so the next week will probably be more content based, because I'll be taking questions on what you need to help with from the week.
That was my question. Great. That's really good. I appreciate that, because seeing you and interacting with you once a week gives me a lot more confidence. So
Yes.
Great.
Did anyone have any other additional questions? No?
No.
You sure? No? Okay.
You're
So
very good.
if you are available next Wednesday at the same time, I will be going over questions from chapter 1 and chapter 2. So please, as best as you can, try to have specific questions. Like even if there's actual problems that you didn't understand from the ed puzzle or from your homework assignments, if you can just have them written down, and then I can actually go through those exact problems that you have. And then the weekly meetings are just based on, you know, the questions that you guys have. I can give a quick summary of what was covered that week. But generally it's better when students come with actual questions, so I can help you and meet you where you're at. Okay, so I hope you have a good rest of your week and day. And again, remember to keep up with your due dates and your assignments. I will send reminders. So if they get annoying, you might want to turn off your notifications, but I do tend to send a lot of reminders to students. I know many of you have other things going on, so I do send reminders. So if they are, you know, if they get to be like too much for you, you can turn off your notifications if that is a problem for you. But I will keep sending reminders. And if you don't get any reminders, it might be because you're already completing your assignments before the due date.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you very
welcome.
much.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Everyone have a nice day.
Bye.